Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. This post is about Elvis Presley, better known as the King. A lot of people's favorite entertainer all time. In my own family, my mother and sister, my sister is 12 years older than me about. This is their favorite musician of all time, Elvis Presley, still to this day. I guarantee you for this upcoming Christmas, they will be giving each other new Elvis Presley Christmas tree ornaments, something they do every year. Them and many other people in this world. So, anyhow, let's get into it. Elvis Presley, known as the King, one of the famous musicians worldwide all time, was once upon a time born January 8th, 1935. As it happens, the numerology of this date is not so great. With this method where we write 1/8/35 and sum it, it sums to 44 like the word kill. The word kill sums to 44. With the full method, 1/8/1935, if we added each digit for digit, it sums to 27. In the rock music genre, many musicians, rock stars who had life numbers of 27 also died at the age of 27. A musician that's similar to this is Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. Arguably almost as big as Elvis. Two of the biggest musician names right up there. Elvis Presley and Kurt Cobain. Anyhow, Kurt Cobain, the name Cobain in Gematria sums to 44. And his life number, born February 20th, 1967, sums to 27. All right, so that's just a little example on Kurt Cobain. Let's move back to Elvis Presley. My point in showing you that is his life number might have sealed his fate from the very beginning. The death, the murder, the assassination of Elvis Presley, it might have always been plotted because of his life numbers. And the same is true of Kurt Cobain. It's very possible that that is the reason he was murdered. All right, so Elvis, born January 1935, he died August 16th, 1977, at the age of 42. He was 42 years old, the meaning of life number. The numerology for this date, the two ways, just like how we did it before, become 101 and 39. Both important numbers to the occult. Also curious about that date is that it's the 228th day of the year. 228th day of the year. That is curious because in English gematria, the word death sums to 228. And for a real quick lesson, let me show you how this works. With simple English gematria, the word death sums to 38. And on the topic of musicians, Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur both died on dates with numerology of 38. 38. The word death in simple English gematria using the alphabetic order, D is the fourth letter, E is the fifth, A is the first, T is the 20th, H is the eighth, added up, 38. So that's simple English gematria. The way you get a value for English gematria, this is true for all English gematria. You just take the simple English gematria value and multiply it times 6. In this way, death equals 228. These are real methods. I'm not making this up. I'm just showing you how this is done. So if you know how to do simple English gematria, to get to English gematria, you just multiply that number times 6. All right, so he died on the 228th day of the year, August 16th, a date that has much to do with death in gematria. He died on his own street, Elvis Presley Boulevard. Elvis is a word with a 22 gematria, Presley 37, Boulevard 37. Add it all up, it sums to 96, like the word Freemason, like the religion Satanism. 96. Recall that the person who made Elvis famous was Sam Phillips. Sam sums to 33. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. If you add those three numbers together, it sums to 96. And Sam, with the 33 name, is the man at the top. So on this date, August 16th, an emergency call was made to the fire station at 2:33 p.m. You can look this up. 2:33 p.m. In Jewish gematria, the word Messiah equals 233. The word gematria equals 233. A lot of important things sum to 233 in Jewish gematria. Also in military time, that's 1433 is what time of day it was. The word 14, words like dead and end, sum to 14. So check this out, you guys. You can go look this up. There's a book called Elvis Presley, A Southern Life. It's about his life and death. On page 44, if you can believe it, on page 44 it discusses the events of his death. Remember, 44 sums to kill. The reason why, you guys, is because Freemasons are essentially building all the knowledge around us. They're releasing the music. They're releasing the movies. They're releasing the books. They're creating the news. We are literally living in their world. If you've ever wondered how you get one of your books published on the New York Times, the answer is you don't. Not unless you're one of these people. And see, to have one of your books published by them, you need to be coding your whole book. You guys think this is lunacy? You should check it out. The more you look at this, the more you're going to see how coded your entire world is. It's sick, you guys. Even this biography book about him, it's page 44 that talks about his death. It is not a coincidence. Let me show you some of the details from that page. All right. So the man who was who was in charge of responding to him, the leader of the event, was Charles Crosby. This is his name. He's said to be 38 years old. Again, recall the word death sums to 38. Also, he has the CC initials like 33. Charles sums to 66. Crosby sums to 82. The word Armageddon is 82. Not good numbers. The other man who responded with him is Ulysses Jones. That name in gematria with the reduced method sums to 39. He's 26 years old. The initials UJ create 3-1. Remember, 31 to 33 are the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. So Mr. 3-1 and Mr. 3-3 are responding on 96, what we can just call 96th Street, to Elvis Presley. And, seriously, go look this up. It says right on the page that both of these men in their lives had received 88 hours of training. I mean, 88 hours, where does that number come from? The word poison equals 88, the word program equals 88, the word maleficent equals 88. Not a nice number in this study of gematria. After the World Trade Centers were crushed, they did a tribute to light, and they used 88 lamps to create the giant light spectacle. Shows you who's behind all this stuff, you guys. Not Osama bin Laden, if that's what you were thinking. Anyway, let's just look at a few more things. The King is his nickname. In simple English gematria, the name The King sums to 74. The is 33, King is 41, summed 74. If you wanted to turn this into English gematria, you would multiply it times 6. Then the name The King would equal 444. 444. The number 444 also has much to do with assassination. Jimmy Carter once suffered through a 444-day Iranian hostage crisis. He's from the 4th state, Georgia. Georgia sums to 44. Just lining up their hoaxes all through the years, guys. Also with Elvis, he died at the age of 42, as we said before, the same age his mother Gladys died. His mother Gladys died when she was 42. Elvis died when he was 42. And there's a lot of rumors out there for how Elvis died, from ODing on pain drugs to having too much fecal matter backed up in his intestines. The truth is, you guys, he was murdered by these people. They might have poisoned him. They might have strangled him. Who knows what? Who knows exactly what they did to Elvis? But they definitely killed him. He died at Graceland. I want to point out that Graceland in gematria sums to 38. Just like the word death. Think about who Elvis was, you guys. One of the most famous singers and entertainers ever, movie star, the love of almost every woman in the nation at one point. And his death is known as kind of an embarrassment. I actually took an elective class in college. I only had time for one elective throwaway class, and the throwaway class I took was on Elvis. In that class, we discussed the events surrounding his death. Pretty much all the stories out there just lead to his embarrassment and make him look like a bad person. And when you think about it, look at what they do to most celebrities when they die. Go back to Robin Williams earlier this year. They said he committed suicide. Go back earlier than that. They said Philip Seymour Hoffman overdosed on drugs. It's really sad to think about, you guys. They are killing people and then giving them embarrassing, dishonest reasons for death. And they're able to do that because they control the media, they control the police, they control essentially all the information outlets we have available to us. So, there it is. Let it be known. Elvis did not die for whatever reasons we are told. I'm sure he was going through all sorts of problems. I mean, that's the other thing. You know, Elvis probably was suffering from pills and addicted to all sorts of stuff. But we have to ask ourselves, how come so many of these musicians, how come so many of these celebrities end up the same way? You would think these people who have these lives that appear glorious to us, they get to be entertainers and showered with gifts. You would think they would be happier, but overwhelmingly we see, from Britney Spears to Elvis to, oh, I can't even think of all their names right now, you guys. Just so many celebrities. They have these fallouts. We're told these crazy stories. They don't add up. They don't make sense. But it shows you that somehow behind the scenes these people are being tormented. And I imagine they're being tormented by the people who eventually kill them and the people who exploit them for all of their adult entertaining careers. And I should even say youth, because so many of today's entertainers come up as youth on the Disney Channel, from Britney Spears to Miley Ray Cyrus to Justin Timberlake to what are their names? Ariana Grande, all these people. And if we hang around long enough, we're probably going to see a lot of these entertainers that we've come to know die of curious and mysterious deaths, just as Elvis Presley once did. Because this is what history shows. A long line of murder, conspiracy, and cover-up. All right, truth seekers. Until next time.